And I realize it's not taking you away from your other passion, I would say, the physical side of thing, or the physical well-being, and your wanting to help others. We spoke earlier about
that's now that's coming together now, because I've always had a passion for fitness. I actually done my personal training with the army. The mental fitness now is started to take off, but mental fitness and physical fitness, people tend to view the mind and body as two separate things, when actually the mind and body work together. So for me to have my mental health background, my experiences with mental health and the physical side, I do think I can bring a lot of value to people in that respect, because I do find a lot of physical trainers, they just look at the physical side. Okay. Whereas there's not many people that actually look at the whole person. It's not just, oh, I'm going out to do a run, or I'm going to lift some weights. Like, what's the reasons? Where are people at mentally? Because some people do fitness and they don't enjoy what they're doing. They're just doing it because they want to lose some weight or whatever. But tying it all in, everything is so intertwined. So if you're enjoying fitness, you're doing it, your mind's good. You're if you start eating well, it all these pieces. So it just all comes together, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think I've had a bit of a transition myself, because I've done bodybuilding, and then I've fallen in love with running, and that's because it's so good for my mind and I really enjoy it. So my reasons for doing fitness now are a lot different to when I done bodybuilding, which was more wanting to look a certain way, whereas now I've come away from that, because I know that's not quite good for your mind. But with running, it's so good for your mind. There's so many benefits to running and doing that style of fitness. But yeah, I mean, everything, the mind, the body, it all intertwines with each other, and nutrition.
Well, you mentioned, I mean, people just exercise or for the sake of it, because they probably want to lose weight. But what's really wrong with that? I mean, if you want to lose weight, why not?
Well, that's what it boils down to. So if you want to lose weight, if you're really unhappy, a lot of people look for quick fixes. They don't look at it as a long-term plan. They're like, right, I want to lose weight, so I'm going to cut my calories. I'm going to go on a really low calorie diet, and I'm going to lose weight. Well, that's not sustainable. But then the problem then with that, it lies in the mind, because why are people so unhappy? Why do people feel that they just need to go on this crash diet? Why? Because it's the problem's in the mind, because a lot of people are unhappy. They look for that quick fix, or, well, that's not going to heal your mind. You need to make a long-term change. Look at fitness and mental well-being, physical well-being as a lifestyle change. So 80% of the time eating really healthy for your health, for your sleep, and then 20% go and have your treats and whatever, but it needs to be looked at as a lifestyle change. Okay. Rather than oh, I'm really unhappy, I just want to lose some weight. No, it doesn't work like that. It's like, you've got to look after your mind. If you do these quick fixes and just want to desperately lose weight, it's not good for your mind. But if you sort your mind out, address why you're feeling a certain way, look at lifestyle changes from a mental perspective, and then the physical changes follow naturally,
Okay, so you're speaking about the wholeness, people really understanding and really appreciating themselves and understanding that, look, it's not just about looking in a particular way and trying to find those quick fixes. So, for example, especially at the beginning of the year, where everybody jumps into the gym or on the exercise, a new exercise routine or diet, and thinking, okay, the next 2-3 months, this is all gonna happen.
Oh God. Yeah.
So, and you spoke about a lot about mental health, but
obviously in May last year, I was meant to run 100 miles. but I ended up running 65.
Oh,
And I
this is
think
good.
it's still amazing. But what I want to try and put out there is that in life, we don't always get things the first time. And that it's really important to bounce back and to give things another go. Because every time you fail, I'm not saying 65 miles is a fail, but it wasn't the 100 that I intended to do. But every time you fail or don't meet the goal you set, it brings lessons. It brings, you learn. So I know next time how I would do it better. Do I think that I'm going to go out and do the full 100 this time? Yeah, I'm confident because I've got lessons learned and I've reflected on maybe where I've gone wrong and how I can do things better. But the point I'm trying to make is that I think anyone in life who does something and doesn't quite get it first time, I think it's so important to rise back up and give it another go and another go and another go, because eventually, it will happen. So
I like your focus and your commitment. I mean, the whole idea of being committed, and one of the things I've learned from my side of things, especially in coaching, is that when you set goals, very often the goals is not the end result. It's so much of a lot of it is what it's making you become. So you becoming someone else, or you making changes or going through transitions towards that goal. And whether you meet that exact goal, most of the time you exceed that goal or surpass that goal. So like you said, you never did 100 miles before and you hit it off in one go straight away to 65. And the next time, you're going to be thinking a different set of things. Your mind is going to be somewhere, so you're going to be in a different state, mental state.
100%,
and now, and your immediate goals right now that you think you need to put in place, especially before you set off and go on those other goals.
So with my goals, I tend to break things down. Like you say, it's not just the end goal, right? There's in betweens. So it's important to set yourself little milestone. So in terms of running, I've broke it down again. So when I ran my first marathon, it was a case of adding 2 miles on every week. That was my goal. Because any goal you set, you've got to start somewhere, and you can't just go and do something massive. I mean, for me to go and run 100 miles, I had to start somewhere. I started doing 2 miles every week to build up to my first marathon. So this year, I have basically signed up to different ultra events. Exact same way that I built up to my marathon, I'm building up to the 100 miler, because I know with goals, you need to break it down, because basically what happens when you break a goal down is you get that dopamine release. So once you hit your first milestone, you get your, I feel good. There's your dopamine release. If you set a goal that's too far-fetched, or I'm going to lose a certain amount of weight this week, and you don't hit it, you end up feeling really disappointed. So you don't get that momentum or that hit of dopamine as such. So what I'm trying to say is, any goal you set, you need to have milestones. You need to enjoy the process, and you need to break it down. So my immediate goals is doing my second part of my nursing, but also these little milestones now, doing the ultra marathons, which lead up to the big ultra marathon.
So I like the idea of you setting milestones and you really leading up towards that big goal. I didn't realize that's what you were doing, but now you break it down, it just makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Especially, like I said, especially in the new year, a lot of people are setting goals and they're not really breaking the goals down into smaller pieces or into fragments. And this is where you have a lot of dropouts. So say, even from February, March, you have a lot of dropouts, especially with these huge goals, especially with goals like losing weight. One of the things I do when I do assessments and coaching is that I say to people, look, you've taken so many years to get where you are now, and you think like a few weeks or a few months is gonna get rid of all of that stuff. It's you're making a lifelong commitment. So I think with any goal right now, it's kind of like a lifelong commitment, but it's a small chunks, the small transitions you take in that process is what's really going to take you to the end goal. And lifestyle, like you said, you enjoy it better. And I believe that you should be enjoying your transitions, your processes towards whatever success you're looking to get, because whatever it takes and wherever you get to, you want to have some sort of legacy you're creating, that you're looking back and say, you know what, I've done this. And every area of those stages or the steps you take, you can look back and have smaller lessons there and help you to grow as overall. So
you do in life is all, it's all lessons, isn't it? And you grow, like your personality never stays the same. All these things you do, all these challenges you set, or these milestones, it just makes you grow as a person. So why wouldn't you set yourself milestones, challenges, because there's so much room to grow, and life is full of challenges every day. If you can conquer the big challenges, you can definitely conquer the little ones.
Well, I think some people who are listening as well are looking at this, call it live as such. What I realize is that some people need guidance. They need help to really figure things out and break things down, to set up a plan as such. And the Knowledge Cube focuses on physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So kind of like what you say in the holistic well-being or the overall well-being, we do tend to look into the spiritual side of things, but that's something we do on a different level.